Guys, I kid you not, watch this. I know. Look at this guy right here. I have the best settings for you guys for Season 29. I literally posted a video last month for the best controller settings, but a lot has changed over the last month. I've done a lot more research on things, and I can absolutely tell you these are the best settings that you want in Apex right now. You will start frying everybody you see. And I guys, I mean, you see what I'm doing here, right? So, before we get started, I just want to say a huge thank you to GameSir for sponsoring today's video. They went ahead and sent us the newest controller that they have on the market, the GameSir G7 Pro 8K for the PC. So if you're a PC player who loves to play on controller, get this controller. I'm not even kidding. Pause the video, go to my description below or the pinned comment, and buy this controller. Okay? I can literally, with the links that you click, it's either Amazon or the GameSir website, you get 5% off. So go get that deal before, you know, before it might change. You never know. So you get 5% off, and this controller just feels super smooth. The reason why, it's because it has 8K polling rate. So most controllers now in the market are under 1,000. You know, average controllers are 150 to about 500. And that's just how fast the controller communicates to the PC. You ever feel like if you're playing on a random controller, like you know, a really cheap controller or something, and it feels like you're delayed, like if you feel sluggish, that's because the polling rate is slow. But this controller goes all the way up to 8,000, and it's ridiculous. I don't even go that high. I play at like 4,000. That just means that the computer is processing this and this controller is being processed at 4,000 times the speed. I mean, it's insane, guys. It's so responsive. There's 4 different paddles in the back, so you can remap. You never have to, you know, remove your thumbs from the sticks. I mean, it's literally insane. And then also the last thing is that it has the Hall effect style triggers, so it's like rapid mouse click style. So it's like instantly shoots the enemy as soon as you want it to. So like I said, grab this controller. This is going to pair perfectly with the settings. Even if you don't have the controller, these settings should still work for you. But guys, if you have the chance, do so. The GameSir G7 Pro 8K PC is an amazing controller. All right, so before I go over any specific GameSir settings, I want to go over Apex settings first. Now with gameplay, we're just going to run through these pretty quick. I know a lot of you guys probably already have these, but just in case you're coming in totally brand new, this could be very important for you. Incoming damage feedback, set that to 3D. Crosshair damage feedback, set that to off. Damage number, set that to stacking. Reticle, I like to keep it on default. Some people like to customize it. Red is perfect because with all the maps, red kind of pops out the most. I know kind of World's Edge, it kind of blends in with the lava, but that's it. Same thing with the laser sight. I like to keep mine on red because it's the easiest to see. And yeah, it's really, it's like the best kind of default color for you. Enemy health bar, I like to keep that on enabled. Enemy highlight, I like to keep that to enabled as well. And then weapon auto cycle on empty, make sure you keep that on. Okay, taking damage, close the death box or crafting menu. This is always set to on for most people, but go ahead and keep this to off. The reason why is if you have this on, it doesn't show in the firing range, but like if I go ahead and die for a second, look, so basically like if you're trying to armor swap on this box right here, right? Let's say there's an armor swap in here. Let's just pretend it's like the cells or the syringe. If I'm getting shot at, like if someone's shooting at me or starting to take damage, and I will get kicked out of that death box right away. Like I look and then I get kicked out because I take damage. Or if I'm crafting something in the ring, pretend this is a replicator, I get kicked out. I can't craft teammates. So having this set to off prevents that from happening. So that way you can actually get the armor swap that you need to get, or you can instantly craft your teammates so you're not sitting there in the ring like, oh damn, I wish I had that setting off. So make sure that's set to off. Chain healing, set that to auto. That's the new setting that they have now for season 29. Really easy. You just pop a shield cell and you can queue your next cell. And then make sure it's really easy. You're not having to touch anything. If you need to pop a med kit, same thing. It just pops the next available, heal for you. So if I take multiple damage, just, like that, there we go. And I start let's say I pop a bat and I want to pop a med kit. I pop the bat first and then I could queue the med kit in. So you could literally, it's very self-explanatory. Having it to auto, it continuously heals until your health is full. Having it to single just queues your next healing item. Having to auto is just, it's a no-brainer. Have it to that. Movement, always sprint, set that to on. Sprint control, you can't control this if this is set to on, so that's perfect. Auto run, set that to off. Jetpack glide control, this is specifically for Valkyrie, and a certain other legends, I think Lifeline and Horizon as well. Just set that to hold. No brainer. I played Valk. You guys see how many kills I have here, 28,000. That just trust me. It's a very, very important setting to set that to hold. Toggle is very useless. Mantle boost activation, set that to jump, and then your mantle boost UI, you can set that to full if you still need to learn how to mantle boost. Mantle boost basically means it's the OG super glide from before, where you climb something and then you jump and crouch at the same time. You get a forward dash. So if you still need help doing that, keep that to on, because it'll show a little timing symbol. You see it'll say boost. Once you jump, it'll say boost, and then you get the timing down and you get this really, really cool effect. So if you're not utilizing this technique, definitely do so. I will show you all the binds that I have on my controller, because that's very, very helpful in terms of, you know, what binds I pressed for movement. But that'll come a little bit later, especially with the GameSir controller, okay? So set that to full, but if you get better at it, I like to keep mine off, because I can just feel the movement, you know? And absolutely just fry people. Like I still like to call it the super glide. Technically it's a mantle boost, but I just absolutely just move. You know, it's insane, guys. You're able to run out of situations quickly, get into a fights much faster. So yeah, mantle boost is a very big thing. If you're still having trouble with this, I have a movement guide in my channel. It's not too long ago. I posted like about a month ago as well. Interact prompt style, I like to keep this to, I used to like it on compact because it default clutters up my screen a lot, but sometimes, weirdly enough, I like to have it now to default, because I know if I need something. Like I'm the kind of person who will spam my looting button and I just don't know what I need. Here it'll tell you if you need something, so for me it has been very helpful, like, so I don't just randomly pick up stuff, you know? So I like to keep mine on default, but if you feel like your screen is getting cluttered, then just play on the compact. There's no right or wrong for that one. Tutorial systems on, button hints on, health and ammo pop-ups off, pop-up on, obituaries on, minimap rotation off, arsenal and map and HUD icons maximum. That just basically means, look at the top left of my screen, I can see how, all the arsenals around me. Very important for ammunition, so go ahead and keep that to on. The next is ping opacity, keep that to default, off-screen portraits to on, performance display to on, colorblind mode off, health and ammo voice lines off, subtitles off, subtitle size normal, enable access chat features to off, convert incoming voice to text chat off, play incoming text chat as speech off, and auto mute communication to nobody. Streamer mode off, anonymous mode disabled, usage sharing enabled. So that's it for gameplay. Mouse and keyboard, we're not going to talk about that. Maybe in a future video, we'll do a guide on that. Okay, are you guys ready for the controller settings? Okay, so we're going to go with a button layout. This is very, very important. I completely play on default. I have not changed a single thing. If you buy this controller, you will not need to change anything. You have 4 paddles, okay? You're going to have paddles in the bottom left and the bottom right, and the top left and the top right of the controller. I will show you guys what I have those bounded to, because on my controller, as you can see here on the right, my B is set to crouch and my A is set to jump. My X is set to interact, and then my Y is set to change weapons or holster my weapon, right? So if you're doing the math, it adds up. You have 4 paddles in the back. I bounded all those 4 buttons in the back to the front facing buttons. The reason why this is very important is because you never have to remove your thumb from your sticks. Like, I'm going to reload. I'll show you. Okay, you know what? I'm going to show you guys the GameSir settings first, so that way you guys get a kind of a better overview for that. Let's go ahead and hop on there. All right, so this is the GameSir Connect. Okay, so you're not using the GameSir Nexus anymore. When you buy the G7 Pro 8K, you will download a new software called the GameSir Connect. This is more advanced. So these are the different controllers that they have, but specifically this is the GameSir G7 Pro 8K. Also, cool thing, I don't know if you guys noticed, this controller is an Aim Labs controller. So they partnered up with Aim Labs, which is super awesome because you actually get a free month of Aim Labs Plus, so you can train your aim even more. So not only does this controller feel insanely well, but it just, you get extra aim training. So I mean, that's a W for that. And the controller looks sick. So like that kind of teal color, I love it. So when you go into the GameSir Connect, once you download it, you just connect your controller, and then it shows you this front page. Now, for me, I like to keep mine, like I said, on 4,000 polling rate. 8,000, you can run it here, but you need to have a very strong kind of GPU to run it. I think mine is able to. I was able to run it but it was just too sensitive. I like to keep mine at 4,000. It's that sweet spot where it's not eating up too much of the GPU, and it's still very, very responsive. So it's right on the sweet spot. 4,000 works for a lot of people. I have done kind of countless research of different controller settings for the GameSir G7 Pro 8K, and this is the consensus that 4K is usually the best. Now, going back to the binds, because this is very important. On the binds, on the buttons, the A front button, and then the B, I set those in the back paddles. So on L4, which is the bottom left, I keep that to A, which is jump, and then I keep the B, which is crouch, to R4, so the bottom right paddle. So that's all you need to do. If you have those two, you will never have to worry about jumping and sliding ever by having to touch these. You could just you could use your middle finger to pretty much use the paddles. And then for the top paddles in the top here, L5, I set that one to Y, and then I set R5 to X. So self-explanatory. X is going to be your interact, so to loot stuff, or you just need to open, or you need to res someone. It's your interact. You can just press this paddle here. You never have to press this. And then for Y, you can just go ahead and press this for your swapping your weapons. So essentially, you never have to touch these buttons with your thumb. So your thumb can just rest directly on the actual stick for shooting. Very, very important stuff, right? Unfortunately, there's not. You on the left hand side, you still will press your thumb off the stick for the left one for like if you need to heal or if you need to upgrade your armor or your evo. But the thing is that this stick isn't as important as your aiming one. So that's an okay kind of trade-off. In the middle bind here, I actually changed that. This was originally screenshot, but I changed this one to you don't have to copy my settings, but it's a cool little one where if you need to capture your gameplay, I bounded this to my OBS, which is to record your gameplay, and I just put a bind here, and it instantly captures the last 60 seconds of my gameplay. So if you're running around, doing some insane clips, you don't have to go to your recording software and then press save. You can just press a button on your controller, which automatically captures it's insane, guys. This controller almost serves as a stream deck itself. It's not even just a controller. Like it has paddles, so it acts like almost mouse and key. And then you also have like a stream deck option to capture your gameplay. It's so sick. And then that's pretty much it. I will come back here in a little bit, so that way I can show you guys a little bit more of the sticks and the motion and triggers and stuff. I'll go over Apex so that way I can marry those two. But let's go back to Apex first. Okay, now we're back in Apex, and I just like I said, once you have those binds, if you look at here on the right hand side of my screen, you can see the controller. Look, I'm able to mantle boost. I'm able to do this, fry, and I feel like fluid. Like I'm never having to, and I just holster my gun. You see I'm able to slide and do all that at the same time. It looks like it's literally mouse and key. So that movement stays super fluid, and I mean, you'll never be able to think that I was on controller if you're, spectating. Some people actually kind of like, oh, are you on mouse and key? And like, no, this is all controller. So I'm telling you guys, these binds, set these to these binds, and then I will go over the other stuff now. Like I said, stick layout to default, interact, reload button, tap to use and reload. Your crouch button, set that to toggle. This is a big debate. Some people like to set it on hold. In terms of most things, it's easier to set on toggle because you press crouch and you stay crouched. You don't have to hold it. Very important for stuff like wall bounces, because you're able to perform it really, really quickly. You don't have to hold. And then if you're like healing behind this, you can just stay healed. You don't have to sit here and hold your so it's more practical to just have it to set to toggle for this one. Aim button set to hold, very self-explanatory. Survival slot button, I'd like to set that to off. The reason why, I mean, if you want, you could have this set to on, so you can have your evac tower if you press the left arrow thing. But I mean, it's not, for me, it's cool. I mean, I go straight in my backpack to get it. It's a little extra step because instead, if I have that off, I can use it as my inspect. So if you're running around with like an heirloom or something, you're able to do stuff like this. Or if you know how some people run around and they spin, like if you have the Wraith Kunai, you can actually do it with these katanas as well. Like if I'm running, I can spin it like this. So I mean, it looks super cool. So and then I think the Sentinel as well. Like if you have the Senti, and then you're like mid-air, you can actually spin it. So that's how, a lot of people are like, hey, how do you spin the Senti? That's how you do it. You just hold your inspect button. So neat little trick. And then the next one we have is our adaptive trigger. Set that to off. Trigger dead zones to default. Menu cursor speed. This is very important. Set that to like around this kind of, you see how the trigger dead zones has that orange kind of dash there at default. And then the menu cursor speed is like at that 40% mark. It forms a little T shape. Like the little T pose, all right? If you know, ball knowledge. And then have it to like a little bit less than half, like 40%, and you're going to be good to go. This is just enough speed to be able to armor swap really quickly. And also, kind of going off the GameSir as well, I'll show you guys. You remember how I told you never have to remove your thumbs off your sticks? I'll show you why in a second. If I take damage, like any type of damage at all, and I try armor swapping, look at how fast this is. That's it. I armor swap almost instantly, and I'm able to move doing it too. So this isn't an armor swapping guide, so I'm not going to be able to kind of break down all the different armor swapping techniques. There's a whole different, I'll probably make a video on that in the future, but this, I have teammates, like when I play with my friends, they're like, Sonyx, that was the craziest armor swap I have ever seen. Because it literally is. Like, if I'm running, and look at that, like it's instant. It feels instant because I'm literally using, I'm not removing my fingers from my sticks. I'm just using the top right paddle, and then I'm using the bottom left paddle to loot. So I'm like going like this. So like it pretend it's the bat, and then I just got the armor swap, and then I fry. So yeah, guys, this isn't just an aiming guide. This is a controller settings guide, okay? So we're getting to the aiming stuff soon. And you're like, Sonyx, come on, hurry, movement and aiming. But you see how powerful this is already? Look sensitivity. Okay, here we go. Have this one set to 4, okay? And then have the look sensitivity ADS set to 3. I have tried messing around with ALCs, and I will say we might have a future video on that. But for right now, having this set to 4.3, and then your per optic, go ahead and turn that off. You don't have to mess with that right now. And then your response curve, set that to linear. Okay? I will die on this hill for this specific video because this marries perfectly with the GameSir, and I'll show you exactly why. So 4.3 linear is probably the tried and true, method, and you're like, wait, Sonyx, you always say 4.3 linear. Why? What do you mean updated? Because I'll show you guys the GameSir settings that matches the 4.3 linear, which makes 4.3 linear even more like 4.3 linear. My math doesn't make sense there, but I hope you get the gist of what I'm talking about. If you think 4.3 linear is good, if you have this on the GameSir itself, it's gonna feel even more good. Like it's gonna feel like laser beam. Okay, so yeah, have this set to 4.3 linear. Like your look dead zone, have that set to none. Okay, your movement dead zone, set that to small. Also, really quick, look dead zone, having that set to none is very important, and I'll show you why. We will relate that back when we go back to the settings. Okay, movement dead zone, set that to small. Inverted look, set that to off, and your vibration, I like to keep that default, and I'll tell you a little bit about why later. Your advanced look controls, everything, set that to 0. Very important stuff. And then your per optic sensitivity, set that to off. You don't have to worry about that. And then your bottom target compensation, make sure that's set to on. This is your aim assist. Do not disable this. Very important stuff for aiming. And then just turn your custom look controls off. If you start messing around with these settings and you accidentally turn that off, some of these settings can bleed over. Like if you leave this on and you turn this off, some of these settings, look at that, I'm moving way too fast. Because even if I turn ALCs off, the per optic settings are on, that bled over, and then even though this says off, this is still on. So make sure everything's set to off and everything to 0, so none of those settings bleed over here, okay? And then, yeah, once you have these settings, very, very important stuff. I want to break down exactly the math behind it and some of the advanced GameSir settings now, okay? So let's go ahead and hop onto the GameSir, the GameSir Connect. Okay, so now that we're back here in GameSir Connect, like I said, the buttons, you guys already know that. The sticks, very, very important. On your left stick, okay? I've done so much research about this. You can set that to 0, okay? It doesn't matter if you get stick drift here because this is where you move your character. So have that set to 0 and then have this set to 100. Now, technically, okay, the GameSir G7 Pro 8K kind of sells itself as an anti-stick drift controller because it really has very, 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 very small, basically no stick drift. But unfortunately, you still will get stick drift. And I'll show you exactly why that's still pretty cool. Your anti-dead zone, set that to 0, and then your max, set that to 100. Your curve adjustment, set that to linear, because this is literally linear. It matches like your Apex, like I said. It's going to match. Your 4-3 linear is going to match. Your stick trajectory, this is originally set to circle. Raw feels amazing. I don't know what it is, but raw feels insanely powerful on the GameSir G7. So go ahead and set that to, I noticed my aim improved drastically when I put that to raw stick trajectory. Joystick resolution bit, you can set that to 12. Doesn't matter. Your right stick, this is the most important setting, okay? Because this is your aim. Your dead zone, same thing. Set that to 0, and then go ahead and set your max to 100, okay? Your anti-dead zone, set that to 0, and then set that to 100. Your curve adjustment, same thing, linear, and then put that to raw. Joystick resolution bit, set that to 12 again. And the reason why we're going to come back to this, but the reason why that's super powerful, I'll show you in Apex in a little bit. For motion, so these are just other stuff that you really don't need. I'm just going to let this play out, pause if you need to, and copy these settings, but there's nothing that crazy that I've changed here. You could go ahead and copy those if you need to. For triggers, this is very important. Go ahead and set your left trigger on to 8, and then for the initial, and then your max dead zone is to 11, okay? And for the anti-dead zone, 0 to 100 still, and then linear, and then hair trigger mode off. Your right trigger, same thing, 8 to 11 here, and then your anti-dead zone, 0 to max. Your curve adjustment, same thing, linear, and then hair trigger mode off. For vibrations, I like to keep that completely off. That's why I just left that on default in Apex, because it doesn't even matter. I used to like playing with vibration on a previous controller because it gave me some type of 3D feedback, like if someone shoots at me. But the GameSir G7 Pro has a very strong, no matter how much you can kind of control this, it's very strong. So it can mess up your aim a lot. So I just realized it's just better off playing without it. And that's it. The lights, I mean, this is all like cosmetic stuff. One thing I will say about the triggers, the reason why I have it set to this is because it's instant. Do you guys see, like, if I press my aim button, it's instant. Same thing with my fire button, it's instant. There's no delay. Like sometimes with controllers, if you don't have this set to a specific thing, or they don't have the option to have these Hall effect triggers, you're gonna have to press the fire button way harder or way more of a forward momentum for you to actually fire. So imagine you're 1v1ing somebody in Apex and then they have this. It's kind of an unfair advantage because you start shooting right away. See that 0 to 100 real quick. All right, guys, we know ball. And then the left trigger, same thing, 0 to 100 really quick. So yeah, you'll outgun somebody way faster. So let's go ahead and go back to Apex. This is it for the GameSir G7 settings. I will go back to the main screen so that way you guys can see what that looks like here. And that's it. So you can actually see your battery thing here as well. I'm going to turn that back down to 4K. And then, yeah, you could turn off everything here. And you have different profiles as well. Like if you need to change to profile 2, 3, 4. If you want to test out different settings on GameSir, feel free to do so. But try to copy these settings first. You will enjoy them. I promise you guys. So we're going to go back to Apex and let's see how everything looks. So we're back in Apex now. And after those settings are here, you will notice stick drift. Okay. Like I said, this controller is known for not having stick drift, but having your dead zone set to absolutely 0 is pretty much going to guarantee you to have stick drift, because the little fine movements, whether I don't know what it is, if it's something with the air or dust particles, it'll move the controller. Like there's no absolute 0 dead zone with no stick drift. Okay, the reason why this 0 stick drift is so powerful on top of everything else is because having 0 dead zone allows you to perform the controller at the exact moment you want it to perform, right? We're already doing that with linear, okay? Linear means that if you move your stick, it's literally raw input. You see that? Raw input. If you move your stick to the left, it moves to the left. If you move your stick to the right, it moves to the right. You move a little bit more to the right, it moves to the right. Some people say, classic is a great one. This is what you kind of start off with. It's great for beginners, and you could perform well with it. But linear, you perform bad at first, but you can perform way better when you get used to it. Does that make sense? You have a higher skill ceiling with linear because it's literally raw input. With classic, there's a thing where like if you aim and stick kind of stabilizes it for you, but you're not actually controlling your stick as well as you want to. Raw, you literally are controlling your stick in a linear response curve. So the reason why we come back to the look dead zone to none, this matches your some people, like if you have stick drift, if I'm setting it to small, I don't have stick drift anymore, because this basically means that I have to press the controller a smidge more for it to react, for it to move, right? But if I have it set to none, yeah, I will have drift. But then if I move my look at all the fine movements, I'm literally moving the controller so small right now, and it reacts to it. If I was to try to do this on small or large dead zone, it will not move. Like if I had this set to large, it's literally not moving. I'm moving you can't see in the binds, but I'm actually moving the right stick. And see how like very clunky it is? Having this set to none, very fine movements. This allows you to micro correct faster than somebody with small or large dead zone. Because if you need to recenter your aim really fast, especially in a target that's far away, you can do that with this, because it's instant speed. So yes, guys, sorry for all the equations that I just put out and all the theory behind this, but you need to understand this before you're like, wait, why are these settings very important? Because everything that you're putting in the game is exactly what you're putting into your controller and exactly what your PC is receiving at the exact time. So that's why this controller is just so powerful right now, because it just is. I have no words. Like this controller feels so great to hold. So yeah, guys, go get yourself 5% off. Link in the description below and the pinned comment. Okay, don't waste your time. And okay, so that is it for the controller settings. Have these and try these out. Let me know how it feels for you. I'll go over video settings. Nothing that crazy here. Display mode, full screen. I like to play on 2K 69. Brightness, I like to keep that at 55%. Field of view, 110. Just play on this. I've seen some people playing on 70. Look at this, guys. Yeah, you can aim, I mean, you could see further in, but dude, you don't see anyone around you, right? So yeah, get used to playing at 110. You just have a wilder field of view. You will have to get used to things being zoomed out a little more, but who cares? Having that wild field of view allows you to have more awareness, and awareness wins fights, period. FOV ability scaling, set that to disabled. And then sprint view shake, set that to minimal. These two are usually opposite. It's usually like this, so change those two. UI layout mode, auto. And all this, I'm not even going to read that. I like to just keep all my stuff kind of set to high, just because I like to record videos, and you guys see how smooth this is with the heirloom, and I do all this cool stuff with the shorts that I make, and so I like to keep the fidelity of the video really, really clean. So it's a personal thing, but if your PC it feels like it's about to start launching to the moon, then obviously lower these settings. The audio settings, master volume to 100, output volume, I just use my system. Audio mix, focus, very important. Some people still have theirs in original. Focus allows you to hear enemy footsteps louder than your teammates' footsteps, and there's a ton of stuff. There's sidechain multi-band compression. There's just a lot of stuff. Okay, I covered a video on that. It just basically enhances your audio, because sometimes we know audio does not work in this game. And even with focus, sometimes I feel like, okay, was there audio there? It does help a little bit. Okay, so just go ahead and put that to focus. Output configuration, whatever you listen to. Advanced audio options, this is important. Sound effects 50, dialogue volume I set it to 50. I just turned my music volume down for copyright purposes. Gameplay volume when spectating to 50. Legend dialogue critical only. Ping dialogue critical only. You're not gonna hear Vantage saying cringe voice lines anymore. You're gonna hear, like, you know, just random stuff. Okay, you're gonna hear exactly what you need to hear. Announcer dialogue, same thing. I set that to none because I can read the ring. That she's not gonna tell me round 3 closing. Like, she'll tell you. You just will. You're gonna be able to learn the game the more that you play, and it's just bothering. Imagine you hear like round 3 closing, and then someone's pushing you at the same time. You're not gonna hear those footsteps, right? So set that to none. Same thing with critical only. It allows you to prioritize the audio that you're hearing from the game. Emote preview sound, set that to none. Sound in background, set that to on. And then yeah, that's it. So guys, I mean, I have no words. Like, I have used this controller for about a month now, and I can confidently tell you it is probably one of the best controllers that I've ever used. There's a lot of there was a lot of things going on with this controller, like a lot of kind of backlash it had because of a recent, you know, some recent things that it was what's the word called? There's some things that can control recoil and all that. Thankfully, it's not in, you guys saw in my GameSir Connect, there's nothing in there that prevents, you know, jitter aim or controlling recoil. Everything that I'm showing with you is legitimately just the controller itself and how to maximize your aim in a way that is, you know, according with the terms of service of the game. So everything that we're doing is legit. So try this out. Let me know what you guys think. I really, really hope that you can enjoy these settings, because I do. I mean, I'm frying people harder than I've ever fried people before. And if you get the chance to, like I said, place your order, 5% off. And, you know, I don't know how long that's going to last for. So huge thank you again to GameSir for sponsoring this video. I appreciate you guys. I hope to be working with you guys more. You guys are an awesome company. I appreciate all of you for being amazing human beings. Yeah. Let me know what you guys want for the next video. If you want to learn how to, you know, play, you know, grind ranked, I have some ranked guides out right now. Or if you want to master Axel, the newest legend, she's a great legend as well. So these 2 videos will be right in front of you right here. Other than that, thank you guys for watching today's video. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I will see you later, and take care.